The next three episodes of this series are focused on the three pillars of sustainability: social, economic, and environmental. One key characteristic is how the three pillars are all codependent. If one fails, they all fail. In Alentejo, we're not just protecting the environment for future generations, we are also making the connection today with the past and regenerating and preserving the broader ecosystem for the future. Please do download the illustrated ebook that accompanies this series. It's free and is intended as a notebook to accompany the journey across Alentejo, gaining insights into the inspiring work that is taking place. This work is improving communities, boosting biodiversity, and demonstrating how producing delicious wines can be part of a wider response to tackle global climate heating. In Alentejo, social sustainability is a very real challenge to the economic viability of the region. It is the communities that are the glue holding the region together. Employers are not just contending with the harsh climate. Young people seek new lives and careers in the cities unconnected to the land, as Francisco Pessoa from Adega Mayor makes clear.
We want to do very good wines and we need people because agriculture is people also. And the people are leaving, choosing another jobs.
The WASP certified producers I spoke with work hard to invest in communities, protecting traditions while improving the quality of life in the countryside. With so much agricultural land with multiple crops, a single estate can be the main employer in any given village or town in Alentejo. In Balizao, CEO Pedro Schmidt from Pacho de Conde says,
"We are here for 5 or 6 generations, so many of our workers also are here for more than one generation. So we have a lot of parents working here. Their sons start working with us also. We have here a little village, Balizão. 70% of our workers are people from Balizão.
That has a direct impact on the local economy.
Yes, in Balizão it has a big impact. It's a small village. We are such a big estate, at least 75 families that have an impact in the village.
Agriculture is about seasonality, with workforces expanding and contracting throughout the year. In Alentejo, in addition to wine, cork and olive oil are also important crops that require specific harvesting skills. At the famous Cartucho winery, winemaker Duarte Lopez says,
"The agriculture part today, it's very strong. We have more than 200 people working in here, with sometimes a family, or the mother and the father and even the son or daughter works with us. The agriculture, it's always about seasons, and sometimes we have 200 people working here. When we go to the vintage to pick the grapes, we can go, and then in 1 month, the winery, we have 30 more people working in the winery for 3-4 months. In the field to pick the grapes, we can have 100 more people just to pick grapes. And after that, during all this cycle of the vineyard, we have always some end work that it's really important because we have these older vineyards that cannot be maintained by the machine. So it's not just about the vineyards. Then we have cork trees to take the cork out. We need people that are skilled, are strong teams that go. And about all of this cycle of agriculture, it's always people coming and going, coming and going. Of course, it's a strong input to the social network of this area.
Producers also have to assume wider responsibilities, down to the small, pragmatic details, in a landscape where great distances may separate employees from their place of work. Providing infrastructure matters. Jose Luis Moreira, Chief Operations Officer at Haddad de Esporao, says,
"Being part of the community, being part of Regenerative Monserrate, where we are, and promoting all kind of people coming here. We are an open company, let's say this way, to all kind of activities. It's something that is important. And for you to have an idea, we have working with us a lot of people that come from the village around here. We have 2 buses that go and pick all the people in the morning and leave them in their home in the afternoon."
At Casa Relvas, Alexander Relvas sees the business as a force for good in the community. They have instituted a scholarship scheme to help the children of their employees be able to gain access to further education and so increase their career prospects in the future. What emerges is a view of how the components or pillars of sustainability are each integral to the operating of the whole system of life in Alentejo. The workforce enables the business to succeed. Producers who prioritize environmental practices to regenerate the land and increase biodiversity need to produce their products while working with nature. The communities help sustain the estates and vice versa. In this new paradigm, the three pillars of sustainability remain strong through mutual connection. This was also evident in estates like Haddad de Maldahinha, where family owner João Soares says,
"We employ today, say, 70% of local people. If you can imagine that we bought this property totally abandoned, so no life. When I mean no life, there was nobody working anymore for the last 40 or 50 years. We had the first couple coming in 99, he's still here, Rui and Vitalina. But today we employ 100 people. We invested in the village. At the beginning of the 20th century, had like 5,000 people living here. Beginning of the 21st century, around 700, and now 800. I think we are helping also the interior of Alentejo, the less populated region in Portugal, bringing young people, making them believe that it's possible to build a family here, providing houses that we rebuilt in the village, a lot of investment, but it's part of this sustainability. What we did is we choose a way of sharing a vision of how life should be today, bringing those best parts of the old way of living with modernity, with comfort, with quality of life. I think we are looking at the future.
Another estate who recently launched a hotel set among the vines and who are also investing in the wider community is Quinta do Poral in the Vidigueira area of Alentejo. Winemaker Luis Leao had this to say.
We are going to have an hotel, and 95% of the people who works in Quinta do Poral is from here, from Vidigueira, from Vila de Frades. And on Vila de Frades, the owner of Quinta do Poral invests a lot of money on the town, to people, to children, to all of the people of Vila de Frades. It's important.
The Wines of Alentejo sustainability program itself is pushing towards improving social responsibility for the workforce. Future certification criteria places greater emphasis on employee inclusivity, as João Barroso says here.
We are very much adamant these days is the inclusion of people with physical challenges, not only from the perspective of the consumer, but also on the perspective of the labor. So be able to have people working that otherwise would not be given the chance to work in this kind of sectors. So we're trying to incentivize and promote and compensate companies that will work or are working with people with this kind of challenges.
When I first visited Alentejo, I was impressed by the work of the cooperative Adega de Borba. Adega de Borba is a vast project where the new sustainable winery was part funded by the associates. Around 3,000 families depend on the success of the cooperative, making it a great example of social sustainability at scale. Borba has 230 growers with an average of 8 hectares each under vine. As they drive forward a coordinated plan to full sustainability, Luis Gaspar tells me that 80% of the vineyard area is now certified sustainable under the WASP program. Speaking about associate growers within the cooperative, he says,
our associates are a different kind because they wear the shirt, they are all into the project, and they know that the decisions that we make in the vineyards are very important to sell the wine and also for the world and for the environment and also for social purposes. Obviously, they have to have economic sustainability. So they have to make money. So if they see that they make money doing these changes, they will do it.
In the next chapter, we will look at the economic pillar of sustainability. Many of the current day challenges in economic sustainability are already being felt around the world. Join us as we hear from more producers and delve into the challenges with former Wines of Alentejo Commission President Francisco Matheus.
With different generations starting to drink wine, we should be quite creative to be able to supply them with different categories of wine. Wines with no alcohol, wines that are not that intense on your palate, things that you can drink in a more relaxed way.